Did you know that building strength in your diaphragm and other breathing muscles can result in, on average, a 6% higher blood oxygen saturation while at high altitude? Let's dive into the research that explains it all. Hey everybody, I'm Anthony, the founder and head coach at Recal Training and certified in multiple breathwork modalities. Our training plans have helped hundreds of athletes climb the highest mountains in the world and finish the most grueling ultramarathons. In this video, I want to show you the research on respiratory muscle training and how it can help you maintain higher oxygen levels while you're climbing at high altitude. What you're about to watch is a short clip from the Breathwork Training from Mountaineers webinar that I co-hosted alongside the expedition company Climbing the Seven Summits. If you have any questions, be sure to add them to the comments below and I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Happy training, everybody. Let's see what the literature has to say about respiratory muscle training. So there was a general review done on multiple studies around respiratory muscle training and how it may or may not improve endurance in hypoxia. So this review looked at 7 different studies that covered both respiratory muscle endurance training and respiratory muscle strength training. And what they found was that respiratory muscle training can improve respiratory efficiency, breathing patterns. It can lower anybody's abnormal dyspnea breathing habits, and it can improve total physical performance of somebody at altitude or in hypoxia. Thus, what they say at the end of this review is that this is a recommended method to be used as a pre-exposure tool, exposure as into altitude, a pre-exposure tool for strengthening respiratory muscles and minimizing the adverse effects caused by hypoxia. Now, one of the studies that they looked at in this review was a study on inspiratory muscle training and its impact on SpO2 at altitude. And the reason why they focused a bit on inspiratory muscles and why I want to focus on it as well here is because, as I mentioned earlier, the air, when you're at higher elevations, is less dense. And you may know this from your, science class in high school or something. A gas moves from a high pressure space to a low pressure space. Well, at altitude, you're only in a low pressure space. Therefore, that air is not going to move as easily into your thoracic cavity, your lungs, right? So it's going to take more work for you to inspire, to literally pull in the air into your lungs. And so this study looked at inspiratory muscle training and its impact at altitude in that thinner, lower pressure air. And so these test subjects, they trained 2 times per day for 4 weeks using a device. In this particular case, it was called a power breathe device, which resisted the air at 50%. So 50% of the air being inhaled was resisted. Therefore, it took extra work for them to inhale. Then, after this 4 weeks of training, they went on an expedition in the Himalayas. They were tested at various altitudes of what their SpO2 resulted at. 0 meters, 400 meters, 1400 meters, 4880, and 5,550 meters. Now, as a result of the study, number one, they did find that doing this inspiratory muscle training with 50% air-resisted inhales, their strength of their inhales, which used a metric called MIP, maximal inspiratory pressure, MIP, that increased by 15%. So, okay, great. They actually strengthened their muscles. Now, did it actually convert on the mountain? Did it show benefits there? And what they found was it did not show benefits at any altitude that was less than 4,880. But it wasn't until that level that they then saw an increase in that test group in their SpO2. So from 4,880 and above, they saw on average a 6% increase in the SpO2, the blood oxygen saturation level of those people, and as much as 10% versus the group that did not do the training. So you can see some consistencies here. In this example, inspiratory muscle training, you're seeing a rise in SpO2. In that mechanical efficiency example, by just changing the way in which you breathe, that also can increase the SpO2. This training was just regular breathing at rest, right? They didn't even change the way in which they breathe. This is just as a result of the strength here. There are multiple ways for you to increase the oxygen saturation that you face at altitude.